Thank you all, and thank you, Lee, and thank you to Gallery 130 for, I haven't seen a setup like this before, ever. I'm usually lucky to get a microphone. I'm just standing on the floor, and I'm like, let me just hold out my laptop. Can everyone see it? This is amazing. So, yeah, and then they were like, you want the big projector and stuff? I'm like, no, that's cool. Maybe later we'll watch some movies. But no, I appreciate you all coming out here on a Saturday as well. Like, this is a big ask on a nice warm day. You could be outside in the sun. So hopefully I can hit you with a lot of knowledge, some gems. My goal is always to have everyone leave with something they didn't know before, hopefully a lot of things. There will be a few slides where I have pre-recorded like a few minutes. It's basically to give my voice a break. The last time I spoke, I nearly had a panic attack, and I hadn't recognized it before, and so I haven't had one since, but if that happens, I'm going to give myself a quick break. So hopefully everyone understands that. Aside from that, just let me know if at any point this drops out. I've just realized we've got some exposed wires here on my adapter, so if the screen drops out, just stick your hand up, and feel free to make this interactive. When I'm showing slides, if there's questions or if you need me to go over something again, feel free to just shout out. We're all here together, and it's a nice, cozy bunch. So let's get into it. Well, that's my mug on there. I forgot I had this. It's always throws me off when I see that. So, but essentially, we're going to go from A to Z to begin with. We're going to go over multiple platforms. We're going to talk about things like Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora. We're going to cover editorial playlist pitching in detail. We're going to cover a lot of the tools that they provide, integrations with different platforms. Everything that I'm talking about today is provided directly from these platforms. So these aren't things that you subscribe to that cost you money. And that's really important because I feel like there's enough people trying to take money from artists right now that I like to talk about the tools that are directly provided, that are free. And for anyone that asks how I make a living, I have a day job. I do this in my spare time to give back. I am an independent artist myself, not producing as much as I'd like to anymore, but I love doing this and giving back because when I first went independent, it was really hard to find this information. So I have to get it out of my head. I love to share. So we're going to do... Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Nice. I wasn't expecting that. I should write that down. Oh, we're recording. Perfect. Nice. Let's get into the over-the-top, highly produced video where I tell you a little bit about myself in a minute or less, maybe two. I started out as a DJ as soon as I was legally able to drink and party in Australia, where I grew up. And I did many years of DJing all around my home state, and I realized I wanted to play in other states and other cities. So I got into production, eventually leading to performing all around Australia in different venues. My current project, I don't like saying project, but we're not technically a band either, but my group, if you will, Date Night, is myself and two friends back in Australia, Anders Magnusson and Sharif Demanstia. This footage is actually our debut gig that we played at a venue called Prohibition in Brisbane. Obviously, it was pre-pandemic, but every time I go back there, we play at the same venue, and we always make sure to stay loyal to them because they've been so good to us. But that is the first part of the journey where I got into music production, went independent. From going independent, that led me to doing things where a lot of people were reaching out to me and saying, hey, Mike, can you tell me how you did this? How you pitched to that record label, how you pitched to that playlist, how you got on these Spotify playlists, how did you do these things? And I started writing these really detailed emails. A lot of it was actually started as voice memos because I was sitting on the 405 in traffic. I used to work in Santa Monica and live in Orange County, so I had a lot of free time in the car. So I would record these really detailed voice notes answering questions from friends and artists and anyone that reached out to me. I ended up converting those into text, cleaning them up, and eventually publishing a book called Work Hard, Playlist Hard. And the second edition actually came out last year in August, and Drew brought it with him as well. Wow, you're a dedicated fan. I love you, Drew. And the audiobook came out this year as well on Audible and bookstores. But from that, a lot of these opportunities presented themselves. You know, a lot of people reached out and said, hey, Mike, we'd love to get you to come and speak here. We'd love to get you to teach a class. We'd love to get you to meet with our team and help our artists. So I love doing this. I love giving back. And that's why I sort of cut back from music. I went all in on this. And, you know, that's kind of what brought me here today. And that's just the book cover up there for anyone that's curious. That is my head exploding on the cover. Kind of like it does when I overshare with this stuff. And so some quick numbers here as well. This is definitely not to brag, but this is just to let you know what we managed to achieve as a completely independent group on Spotify alone, just putting some numbers up there. You know, some obvious things that you can see from this is, yes, we had some editorial placements, which is great, but we actually got over 1 million streams from Discover Weekly alone on Spotify. And a lot of people will say, you know, I'd never really see the value in that. And I'm like, I have to put this up and say that majority of our streams actually come from Discover Weekly, and that happens 12 weeks, 1 year, 2 years after a track is out. So gone are the days where a track comes out and then next week it's old news, nobody listens to it anymore. And that's also thank you to social platforms like TikTok as well, which is helping with catalog. So we will be getting into that. And on the right-hand side, I said that this isn't a brag, but that is Times Square. That was a Friday night in New York. We actually paid for that ourselves. No one did that for us. It was something that we always wanted. And because we made some money from streaming, we decided we're going to do this one thing to treat ourselves. You know, we invest in music videos, we invest in mixing and mastering, we invest money back in our music. We always wanted to be in Times Square on a billboard, and we got to take over an entire corner for an hour. So yeah.